Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. I know right now it's not very fun in this period of waiting, but guys, I'm glad I still get to share this time with you. And so while we have a moment, let me share a story from my one season of Little League baseball. It was back when I was in like third, fourth grade, and I played for a team called Service Electric. And I remember we had these bright blue uniforms, and that was maybe the only positive thing about the team in my mind. Like, we were a losing team with a losing season and an angry coach who just never seemed happy to be there. But guys, there was one silver lining that season. It was the day we played the maroon jerseys. Now the maroon jerseys, these guys were like the all-stars of that little league. Like, all the parents got their all-stars together on this team, and they played the rest of us, and the rest of us were no match for this team. They were undefeated. And as we were playing them this day, our losing team, we had done the unthinkable. All right, we had tied the game 3-3 with one out in the final inning. And so it's the final inning. I'm up at the bat, and guys, I can be honest, I was horrible at batting. I was even worse at fielding. But I waited for my pitch, and thankfully it never came. I never had to swing the bat. 4 balls, and I walked to first that time. Now I may have been horrible at all the other elements of the game, but guys, I was quick. And so I could steal bases like crazy. And so I stole second on the very next pitch. And so I'm on second base. Next guy, he strikes out. We're tied up 3-3, 2 outs, final inning. And next guy at bat, he connects. He cranks it out into the outfield. And I take off for third base, and the third base coach is giving me the stop. He's like saying, stop, wait right here. And I'm like, stop? Dude, we could win this thing right now. I'm quick. I can make it. I can be the hero. I can score right now. And so he's telling me to stop, but I just keep on running. Like, I was ready to win the game. I was so confident. Yeah, I didn't make it halfway there before the ball reached home plate. Rather than doing the whole in the pickle run back and forth, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to plow into the catcher. I'm just going to run that guy over. I didn't like that kid anyway. He was a jerk. So I just ran smack into him, and he laid me out. I lost the game. We had to settle for a tie game. And the third base coach told me to wait. Like, he could see the field. He knew all that was going on. He knew where the ball was. He saw that big picture. We could have been the team that beat the undefeated maroon jerseys. Instead, I was the idiot who didn't listen to the coach and kind of blazed my own trail, which ended in failure. You know, there's probably a lesson in there somewhere. Like, sometimes in the midst of our circumstances, perhaps the best course of action is just to give pause and wait patiently. Yeah, as the scripture says in Proverbs 14, whoever is patient has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered displays folly. Guys, how I wish I could go back and simply wait like my coach said. But I can't. I played the fool that day, and how many times has that been true in my life or your life? I mean, how many times have we played the fool? How many times can I look back on my circumstances in my relationships or my interactions or my circumstances and opportunities and realize how rash my choices were, how rash and uncaring my actions were, how quick I was to kind of rush in without fully grasping the situation. Like how many times have I stuck my foot in my mouth or caused division or arguments because of my careless words? Probably too many than I care to count. And guys, maybe you can relate to that. I mean, maybe you know exactly what it's like to play the fool. And let's be real, when we talk about patience and waiting, that's not our strong suit in this fast-paced culture that we live in. Like we like our food now, like hot and ready. Like, why cook all day when the microwave can get it done in half the time? We like immediate results. We want immediate return on any investments. And so, we bring that into the spiritual realm and we pray and we want God to give us answers like now. Like, God, where are you? Come on, I prayed about this. It should be done. Or we give and we want to see the fruit of those investments. And we certainly don't want to sit around during a quarantine. We don't want to sit and wait and act like we're just here waiting for what's next. Like, this is not what we like to do, to patiently wait. But guys, in these moments, God invites us to learn patience, to learn waiting. In fact, Psalm 37 verse 7 says, "Be still. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him." And guys, as we do, we get this opportunity just to to catch our breath, to remember that the world spins at God's command rather than our activity. And so we're reminded in James chapter 5 verse 7, "Be patient then, brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming." Like, see how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop, patiently waiting for the autumn and the spring rains. You too, be patient and stand firm because the Lord's coming, it's near. And so as you think about those words and where you are right now, guys, I want to share two thoughts with you as we sit here waiting. And number one here, I want you to remember what you're waiting for. I want you to know the reason for the hope that you have. You know, James says to be patient until the Lord's coming. Like a farmer who waits, he knows there's a reward on the other side of the harvest. The Lord's coming is near. And so guys, remember that this what we're going through right now, this is not our home. And that God, he's moving us closer to the day when we are going to see him face to face. And here's the thing, guys, if that's true, we should be living in preparation for his return. And not only that, likewise, we should live with this awareness of his presence right now. Like, we need to make the most of every opportunity, and we need to live like we believe what's coming. So that's one idea. Remember why you have the hope that you have. But number two, guys, learn to be content where you are. Like, isn't that so hard for us to learn to be content with this circumstance and this situation and know that we're going to be okay, that God's got the bigger picture. We can just be in this moment and wait. You know, I like the quote from Ben Patterson. He says this. He says, "Waiting is not just the thing we have to do until we get to what we hope for. Instead, waiting is the process of becoming what we hope for." Or how about this quote from Henry Nouwen? He says, "A waiting person is a patient person." The word patience, it means the willingness to stay where we are and to live the situation out to the full in the belief that something hidden there is going to manifest itself to us. Now, impatient people, they're always expecting the real thing to happen somewhere else, to be somewhere else, and so therefore they want to go somewhere else because this moment is empty. But patient people, they dare to stay where they are. Patient living means to live actively in the present and to just wait there. Waiting then, Nouwen concludes, it's not passive. It involves nurturing the moment. Like a mother nurtures a child that's growing in her. You see, guys, it may feel like we're just wasting time here, but waiting in this moment is an acknowledgement that God has you where you are for a reason. And when we wait on him, he renews our strength. In fact, in Isaiah 40, verse 31, we find these familiar words. "But those who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength, and they shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They'll walk and not be faint." And so sometimes it's better to wait. Sometimes it's better to wait on God. Sometimes it's better to wait in all kinds of situations. Like that time I was at third plate. I mean, there I was at home, and the crowd completely at a loss. Like my dream of being this amazing hero, that one day flattened by the catcher, just smack on the ground. It was a very, very sad day. And the third base coach came up to me afterwards and he said, "Steve, why didn't you wait? Like, Keith was up next. We could have played a bunt and you would have made it home, no problem. Why didn't you wait?" Like, he saw the big picture. He knew the plays. He had a plan. But guys, I could not see it. Like, I was focused on my world and my little slice of the bigger picture. I couldn't see the ball or the players or any of that. I was focused on me. And guys, it makes you wonder if God's sometimes like that third base coach when it comes to us. Like, I have to imagine that the universe looks quite different to God than it does to you and me. Like we see this moment, and we see that moment staring in front of us, but God's perspective, it's far more infinite. It's far more encompassing of all that you and we can't see. And Raymond McHenry, he notes that in times where we wonder if we should give our trust and our weight to the Lord, it's good for us to remember some simple promises from Isaiah chapter 40. Guys, get this. The oceans of the world contain more than 340 quintillion gallons of water. Yet God holds them in the hollow of his hand. The earth, it weighs 6 sextillion metric tons. And yet God says it's but dust on the scales. The known universe, it stretches more than 30 billion light years. That's 200 sextillion miles. But God, he measures it by the width of his hand. Scientists claim that there are at least 100 billion galaxies, and each galaxy is made up of about 100 billion stars. And yet, to such mind-boggling math, Isaiah reminds us that God calls each star by name. And so, guys, if God is infinitely larger than anything in this universe, and if he holds my life and your life in his hands, then surely I can trust in his promises as I place my hope in him. And surely I can do my part and sit here waiting. I pray these words give us something to think about today. God bless you guys, and I hope to see you soon.